Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast, sponsored by Prize Picks. My name is Adam Cohn, I am your host. Joined by my co-host, Dan Welch. Dan, it's Group B start time. We have some interesting teams in this group. You ready to get the analysis started, my friend?
Adam. I'm very excited for tomorrow because the past couple of days have been tier 1 purgatory. Um,
That's an interesting way of putting it.
I say tier 1 purgatory?
You did say Tier
Tier,
1 Purgatory.
tier 2 purgatory.
There you
The,
go!
the sprinkle of tier 2.5.
There's a Tier 2.5. Did you just invent a brand new tier out of nothing? Do I have to call
I would say
ESL and blast everybody?
Dignitas. And this other team that I had never even heard of actually did pretty well in the Pinnacle tournament.
Who?
It's like Urgentenium or
No idea.
yeah. Out of nowhere. I mean, from my perspective, I'm sure some people know about
Mm.
them.
So, just to address the elephant in the room, or not so big elephant, Dan and I had a couple things going on over the last couple days. That's why we could not finish up the Group A analysis, but we are back. It is Group B time. It is day one of Group B. This podcast is going to be from March 16th. Day one of Group B, we have Team Vitality versus Sprout. Well, let's just go over the groups here, Dan, and just get your initial thoughts real quick. We got Vitality, Sprout, FaZe, Ents, um, the Outlanders, or whatever they're calling themselves, and Furia. Basically Virtus Pro that can't compete under Virtus Pro. Uh, what are they calling themselves? The Outlanders? What are they calling themselves, Dan?
I thought it was Outsiders, but
Outsiders. That's it. Thank you. I don't know why I thought Outlanders. The Outsiders. So, Virtus Pro have agreed to compete under a neutral name. So, as you can see here, Dan and I were just fiddling around with some lineup ideas for this slate, so we'll clear that out, and we're going to talk about it. So, because Dan and I were talking pre-show, we were talking about some, how I like Furia on this slate, and we'll get to that. As always, gonna get the minutia out of the way. Well, not as always, but we're gonna get the minutia out of the way. But first, drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way, there each and every single one of you know every single time we go live or drop a podcast. Maybe we'll do live someday, Dan. And
yeah.
leave a comment down below. Tell us who you like on the slate and who you don't like. Tell us what you like about the podcast, what you don't like about the podcast, and anything you guys and gals out there may want to see, other than bigger Draftkings tournaments, which is there's nothing Dan and I can do about that. But I'll be nice. I did. It's like ever since main sports came back, the esports products have started going like they have not been focused as much.
That would be a good way to describe it.
It would be what I feel like is the polite way to describe it.
Hmm.
All right. So with that being said, Dan, let's get into the slate and just do a quick preview. We're not really going to preview Group B, but what are your initial impressions here of these 6 teams from this group?
Um, Seems a little one-sided just on these matches, but except for Outsiders v Furia, where the lean, I mean, obviously to the Outsiders, but I guess Furia could be a good dog. That's about it, though.
Okay. What about the group as a whole?
Group as a whole,
The group as a whole.
Isn't exactly well. Vitality's in it, FaZe is in it, so
I mean, those should
it's
be your
good.
2 presumptive favorites, right? Like your IEM Katowice 2022 winner in FaZe Clan. Team Vitality should be one of your top contenders in this group. But, presumptively it should be the Outsiders. Can't compete under the Virtus Pro name, so they're competing under a neutral name. How's that going to
Uh,
affect them? Are they going to be able to take anything from this tournament? Let's say they go on to win it. Is that going to be able to affect them for the major? Is that going to affect them for whatever? What's their mental state like? Obviously, teams like Navi and Outsiders and Gambit or whatever they're going to compete under. There is the war in Ukraine right now going on, and Ukraine is big with CS, and so isn't Russia. Like the whole the CIS scene, like what is it's the mental state of a team like the Outsiders, who now have to compete under a neutral name. You have to take that into account. You have a team like Furia, who this team leaves a lot to be desired. It's been recently K Serrato and everyone else on the team. You have a team like Ents, who they almost remind me of like a little bit better than an old OG team. Not high-powered offense, great defense, and can be a royal pain in the ass. Pardon my language, but they can be a royal pain in the ass for any team they face if they're playing good. And now they get Madden. So, like, Ents is someone that I really want to see more out of. I want to see where they go. And with all due respect to Sprout, it's Sprout. This Sprout team is not like the old one. There's no Faven. There's no Cressy. It's Slacks and Spiddy and three other people.
They got some decent wins, but
Right, but I mean, it's like this isn't the Sprout that we know from last year, right? Slacks and Cressy and Dennis and Spiddy. Snatchy was there at one point, but now you have
Nancy
like Slacks and Spiddy and who else is on
Merrick,
this team? We got what?
RX,
Sahir,
Spare,
Rawls, Merricks. I know
uh,
of Rawls. I've not heard of Merricks or Stroud before, so that'll be interesting to watch some of their games and learn a little bit more about them as players. But like, so I think that's really interesting. But anything else? Initial impressions here from these groups, or anything overall you want to talk about with these teams?
no.
All right. Well, let's get right into the analysis here. So this is again day one of Group B here at ESL Pro League Season 15. We're going to start off with these times, by the way, just to clarify, Dan and I are on Eastern time. So the times you see here are Eastern time. Check your times and your time zone for the games. FaZe Ents is going to be fun to watch, and so is an Outsiders Furia. I'm not, with all due respect to Team Vitality, I'm probably not going to wake up that early to watch them.
Oh,
No,
okay.
this should be 2-0. Let's talk about it. Team Vitality versus Sprout. Let's go to the Pinnacle betting odds real quick. And what do we even have for this? We head over here to leagues. We head over here to Pro League. Make sure that's set to American odds. Excuse me. Team Vitality is a minus 767 favorite. Sprout a plus 534 underdog. FaZe versus Ents. I think this is Pinnacle and a lot of the other odds makers giving FaZe a lot of credit from what we just saw from them in Katowice. They're minus 343 favorite versus Ents, which I get is really giving FaZe a lot of respect. So Ents are a plus 267 underdog. And this will be the interesting one, Dan, and I think you and I are going to spend some time on when we get to this match, but the Outsiders versus Furia. The Outsiders are favored by 230, with Furia a 185 underdog. If I was actually betting on these games, like if you're in Europe and you're listening to this or whatever, I know there's like 1xBet, there's GGBet, there's a lot of these other betting sites over there. I check the odds, and I'd be really interested to see what the Furia odds hold over there. As I think Furia can upset Outsiders here 2-1.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't go as heavy as to say Ents would beat FaZe, but plus 267. It's not a bad return.
No,
So,
not at all.
except the way FaZe have looked recently, good luck. So, them are the odds. So we got Team Vitality versus Sprout. Is it bad of me to say that everyone from Team Vitality is in play? Because everyone from Team Vitality is in play.
Yeah, I particularly like Dupree and, well, obviously Zywoo, but Dupree would be my.
Dan, I'm sorry, this is the first time we have Zyro back on a Slate to Watch the podcast. His name is...
Zywoo.
No.
Zywee.
There it is! From those of you that have been with us for a long time, Dan accidentally called him Zywee instead of Zywoo on an earlier on podcast, so it's just been kind of like a running joke. So we got Zywoo, Dupree, both over $9,000 on the slate, Dan. I think I'm right there with you. I don't mind the price tag on him. Dupree's been showing he's been good lately. Zywoo is just a lock and load play on the slate. I would be overweight compared to the field on Zywoo. Apex is
Mm-hmm.
what I want to talk about. Apex at 8,400. We've seen a lot more out of Apex recently. Fragging, which has been really exciting to see.
Huh?
I really don't mind playing Apex at 8,400, and I think he could come in a little lower owned here as well.
Like it.
Because people are gonna be like Apex 8,400. Nyeh.
Yeah.
I think I like Apex second on this slate for the Team Vitality boys.
I kind of agree with you.
I would say Dupree third, and then it's just a matter of Magisk versus Masuda. Masuda, since the two Danes have joined this team, I think has lost that like high upside fragging role that we saw towards the end of last year.
Yeah, I'm sure he's lost some of his better spots due to the newcomers.
Then again, if you're Masuda, you can learn from these two too. Multiple time major champions, you have a multiple time major winning coach in Zonic. Like, if you're Masuda, he's what, 18, 19 years old? Soak up the knowledge. Like, you got an entire career ahead of you of like, this is a kid that Team Vitality invested in, what, 2 years ago? We saw what his potential is last year when he's given the opportunity. Now he's going to be able to learn under, you know, these three Danes from when they were at Astralis and winning all these majors. That's huge for him. So I think I'm going to go Masuda 4, purely based on price, because we're going to need price. I actually wouldn't mind, from a pure price standpoint, Masuda third. From a who I think is going to do better standpoint, Dupree is third. But it's a $3,000 difference. I know.
Hmm.
I know. It's a little tough. And I think Magus just comes in last for me. But like, I'm really worried about playing Masuda here. I really am. He just in the couple of, in the games that I've seen Team Vitality play in, I don't see him in that like fragging role that we saw him in last year when we were playing him what felt like almost every slate because we knew he could just go nuts.
Yeah, I would not touch Masuda.
6,000 though, that's tempting.
Okay. I take that back. I'm a little torn right now.
Right? I mean,
So,
like 6,000's a little tempting to me. I'm sorry, like $6,000 Masuda in what's probably gonna be the best spot for him of versus any of these teams.
and this is another situation where we have kind of a shrunken ceiling for Zywoo and anybody else, just because the kill, there's only so many frags that can go around in a match that's probably going to be 2-0 in a pretty stomp like fashion. Or let's hope that it is anyway.
It probably is. I mean, for me,
Had a re-
I would only play 1 to 2 players from this game from Team Vitality. I don't see a ceiling to win a GPP by playing 3 Team Vitality.
that's what I'm trying to say there. But yeah, I think there's more ceiling in other games. I think it's good to maybe 3 stack on captain. Zywoo Dupree, and
I will say this right now. Zyra was probably going to be one of the highest owned captains on the slate.
yeah,
We'll talk about some other captains. Phase. We'll get there.
yeah, I'm sure. Rookie will get some ownership too.
All right. Let's talk about the Sprout side of things. We know all 5 members of Team Vitality are in place. So it's a matter of who we like and who we don't like, and just justifying who we're gonna pick and try to fit in our lineups. On the Sprout side of things, Slack's the Opera for Sprout, 7,000. Spitty, 6,200. Merrick's 5,200. Stahair, or Stare, I don't know how you pronounce their name, I apologize. I'll just go with Stahair, 4,400. Then we have Rawls, 4,000. That's right. Not to be
Browse.
confused. Not to be confused with Thomas Rawls of the former football player from the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, I'm a football fan. I'm sorry. I do a lot of fantasy football. What do you want from me? Slacks is the only
Well,
one I would play from Sprout. And I would do it as a one-off.
yeah. Sprout.
I also wouldn't mind taking a random chance on Rawls. I'm not.
Congratulations for getting here.
Yeah, I mean, Slacks doesn't interest me. I'll take a chance on Rawls at 4,000.
Take a chance on me. Maybe then you lose.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan is singing.
Culture Club.
He is very excited for this slate. All right, anything else from this game? Because I got nothing else. I'm gonna be honest. If you all out there listening and you know more about Merrick since the hair than I do, and you want to take shots with him, fine. Spitty's too expensive. Rawls to me though, 4,000 is fine. I don't know who these other two are. Merrick's it's the hair, but it's the hair at 4,400 if he's good. That's cheap. Merrick's at 5,200. I don't know who he is. Again, fine. Rawls at 4,000 I think is interesting as an outright punt. And hope he scores 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play enough lineups to even include any of these guys.
Yeah. I mean,
you know,
Slacks I think is interesting if you're going to get funky and fade Vitality. Well, not fade Vitality. In an MME, if you don't want to play Team Vitality and you want to hedge, Slacks is the only one I would play.
bring it back.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Should we get on to the next game?
Please.
It's FaZe versus Ents. Oh, FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan, FaZe Clan, FaZe Clan. I was saying at the end of Katowice, how does Rain have a job after this? How JKS performed as a stand-in throughout the tournament. I have no idea how Rain still has a job. With all due respect to Rain, JKS played out of his mind.
Yeah.
In this spot,
I think Rain will slowly get worked out of the lineup.
I mean, I can see it, but Rain is such a great entry fragger, a rotator. He plays a lot of great spots. He works for them. So I can understand that. Now,
Did they win IM Katowice with Rain?
Rain had COVID, or tested positive for COVID. He couldn't play.
How old he is?
If
27.
you're gonna call him part of the old man club, Dan.
I just know. Actually, JKS is 26, so he's only got
Is
a
he
year
really?
on him. I thought he was younger than that.
I thought he was younger than that.
Maybe they'll do a. He's not. I mean, they're gonna have to make a decision. Unless JKS just wants to sit on the bench.
I was listening to when Twist and Rops were on HLTV confirmed. I'm not finished with the podcast, but I think they were saying, or Twist was saying, when they were talking about Mouse Sports bringing on MBK, they're like, how they not look at JKS? Which I think is something every one of us said! How did Mouse Sports look at go, NBK? JKS. NBK? JKS. I'll be like, hi JKS, can we sign you please? That's besides the point.
I think NBK broke his computer too, or his monitor during a match.
Oh boy.
I think he.
I mean, NBK's been playing good. Like he has been playing his team his OG roles, which has been nice to see. But still, anyway, Brokey, Robs, Twist are all in play. Take your pick of who you like more.
Exactly.
All three are in play. I think for me it's Brokey, Twist, Rops. I think Twist has a high ceiling on the slate. Rain is fourth for me, and you can take sprinkles of Carrigan, but Carrigan doesn't need to be a high fragger with those four in front of him. And realistically, the top three. Would you agree?
Adam, I have a little bit of a. I need to take a little break.
You gotta take a break. We're recording a podcast.
Yeah, the wife needs me. I can't get into details, but I have to go for a minute.
Okay, I will continue talking about this game and get back soon.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so while Dan goes and attends to something, helping out his wife real quick, totally fine. Family first, as always. We're going to talk about the... I'll do this. I'll break down Brokey, Rops, and Twists a little bit more. Brokey, the MVP of IEM Katowice 2022. Here's the interesting thing about Brokey. We're finally starting to see this kid's ceiling as an opper. We knew what we've been saying for years that he has been extremely and highly talented. He just needed the right pieces around him. He has the right pieces around him. Excuse me. I'm going to head over to hltv.org. We're going to take a look. We're going to go matches over here. We're going to go to FaZe versus ENCE. And we're going to take a look at the FaZe Clan roster. If we take a look at their stats, let's just go. I'm going to go stats with this team over the last 3 months of play. And because we're back at LAN now, I am leaving this as all matches. So, Brokey has a plus 100 and freaking 80 kill to death differential with a 1.4 to 2 K to D ratio. He's got a 1.23 rating. Twist coming in right behind him at 48. Alright, with a 1.10 kill to death ratio. The interesting thing with this is we're not going to get accurate amounts here because we don't have... well, I mean, we go back to overview. We had Rain and Rops missing some of those games, so just, because of that, it's a little different to get this to pull up here. I can email HLTV, we can figure this out. But anyway, we know how good Rops is. And we can go over by sulfite. So that's Brokey's stats. Twist's stats, I just went over those. Let's just take a look at Rops' stats as well. So we're going to go to Rops. We're going to go to matches. We're going to go over the last 3 months, which has only been for FaZe. Over this time, he's got a 1.1 rating. I'm sorry, 1.18 rating. He's looked really good. So if we just take a look here. These are his stats over the last 3 months since joining FaZe. Okay. Oh, it's a Stonies flag. Cool. That's awesome. It's a Stonies flag. Alright. 1.18 rating. So 1.18 rating. A 0.59 DPR, a death per round. He's got a 73.8 kill to assist percentage. So KSD, percentage of rounds in which the player either had a kill, assist, or survived, or was traded. That's fantastic. He has a 1.19 impact rating, at a 76.1 ADR, and a 0.75 KPR, kills per round. He's got a 1.27 kill to death ratio with a 47.3 headshot percentage. This kid is elite. We know how good Rops is, right? Like, we know how good this kid is. Keep this in mind. Right, so, hang on 1 second. Let's bring Dan back into the podcast. The Welch has returned to the podcast. Dan!
We have a third member of the podcast.
We have a third member of the podcast.
It's Baby Daniel.
Ooh! When we can get Baby Daniel's up here. And I was just going over and comparing a little bit more in-depth detail of Brokey versus Rops versus Twists.
Okay. Can you hear him?
Yes, we can. Hello! Everyone say hi to Baby Dan. Hi, Baby Dan. All right, so with this
He's
being
very.
said, I was just going into a little bit more detail here. It was a little tough for us to pull ratings up of those main three because of the games that Rops and Rain missed, so we couldn't capture it accurately. So again, if we go back, he's had some amazing games,
Who
and
Rops?
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
for me, it's Brokey, Twists, and then Rops just in this game.
Oh really?
Yeah, for me. Aw, I think Baby
I
Dan
think.
is tired.
Yeah, he is. So I would definitely put Rops over Twist. Sorry,
Again,
I don't
that
know.
it's kind of like
I
we
think.
said before you had to step away. Is just pick any of these three, however it is you want to play them,
Well, people are going to prioritize Brokey too. So I
and
don't
they
know what is.
should.
Yeah, what is Rops' price?
Rops is 8,800, Twisted 8,000, Brokey 9,400.
Yeah, so Rops is going to go. Well, I shouldn't say overlooked, but it's going to be tough to fit
You got it.
Zaiwu, Brokey, and Rops. Without making some sacrifices somewhere else. No, I
Agreed.
don't. I don't think I would play Rops over Brokey though. So
I agree with that. For me, it's Brokey and Twist that I would prioritize on this slate. Now, Rain is someone you could take a look at 7,000. Um, if you want, I would definitely say keep him in your player pool as well. Anyone
yeah.
else from Phase you want to talk about?
No.
Then let's get into the boys from Ents. We have Spinks, Hades, Deha, Madden, and Snappy. Hades being the Opera, Snappy being the in-game leader, and Spinks, you can argue, is the ace of the team. Or you can argue Deha is the ace of the team. Madden at 4,800, though, is one of the biggest misprices on the entire slate. Why is this guy that was, when he was with FPX or Godsent, was usually over 8,000? Why is he $4,800?
Good question, Adam.
It's a massive misprice on this slate.
Yeah, 4,800 is a little bit too cheap, but they could get blanked.
It is a high
And he's a.
possibility, for sure.
And I don't remember him ever doing all that great in losses, but the price might, he doesn't. He just has to be even basically in a loss.
Yeah,
At
but
4,800.
I also wouldn't be playing guys from. So, main strategy is this. Try not playing guys from the opposing team that you're going to play. So if you're playing FaZe and you think FaZe are going to win, don't play Ents on that same lineup. It somewhat caps your upside.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Which for me
I
makes
wouldn't
it very
recommend it.
tough to play anyone from Ents. If I had to take a chance, I'd be Spinks 1, Deha 2, Madden 3. I could easily make. Actually, I'll go Madden 2, Deha. Madden 2 based on price, but I think Deha outscores him. So Deha 2, Madden 3, Hades, and then Snappy. Snappy, I wouldn't overlook here, but I think I would just focus on the main three riflers here of Spinks, Deha, and Madden.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I can't. Yeah, you can't really justify running back anybody from Ents.
Yep. Well, let's get into the
Uh,
last game here. Unless we want to talk about anything else in this game?
oh,
All right. We'll make this last game rather quick. Outsiders versus Furia. Outsiders should be the heavy favorite on paper. Pinnacle has them as a favorite. I think Furia win this game.
um,
I think Furia win 2-1.
I don't. I think they're a little too aggressive, and VP is too good on the CT side of most maps.
Yeah, they're
So
also a very passive team. Well, not passive. Like Yakindar is the main aggressor for outsiders, but Furia's aggressive style of play, I think, could maybe catch outsiders off guard a bit. So this will be
yeah,
very interesting. K Serrato at 7,200 is cheap, and he's been fragging out of it. He's been fragging like crazy.
and he does do good in the losses.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a run back for sure,
Yep.
especially in this matchup where it's probably not too. It's probably not going to be one sided.
Yeah.
Like in the Vitality match.
Little Dan is so cute.
Oh, good. I'm glad. He's contributing.
Little Dan's giving us his opinion. All right. For the outsiders, since they're first here on the list, Yakindar 9,200. James the Opera in IGL for outsiders is 8,600. Flit at 7,800. Buster 6,600. Kicker at 5,400. I have no interest in Kicker. Some interest in Buster, but it's Yakindar,
Yeah.
Flit, and James.
Yeah,
In
Flip's
that
been the
order for
man.
me. So, Dan agrees. Little Dan agrees!
Whenever he
Little
spits out his binky, that means he agrees.
He wants to contribute, folks. So again, just to backfill from my other point, it's like, yeah, Dan and I have had some life things going on. No, he's not my kid. No. So obviously, with Dan and his wife having the new little one, you can clearly see or listen.
He's bald at him.
Why are you taking pot shots at me? I know I'm thinning, but why are you taking pot shots at me? I'm losing my hair too. Stop that. Oh boy. All right. So, do you have any interest in Buster or Kicker?
No.
Okay. Furia. I have interest in K Serrato, Sappy, and then Yuri. Yuri's 5,000. So, I have absolute interest in them. The interesting one, the IGL and Art at 6,400 with how he aggressively plays. He's either... I feel like this is a situation with just VP's playstyle where Art's either going to go off or he's going to get spanked. So that would be my take, and it looks like Dan has to go and take care of little baby Dan. So we're going to finish up this podcast here real quickly. Apologize to everyone, but easy, little Dan is still cute. All right. I have no interest in dropping. For those that may not know, Safi is the opera for Furia right now. I'm in Furia, obviously, this being a little bit new of a team for them and everything else, so all that other fun stuff. So Dan will rejoin us again tomorrow night. I'm going to go ahead and quickly finish up this slate. So again, for me, I think Furia beat Outsiders 2-1. Outsiders, I would favor Yakindar, Flit, and James, Buster, and Kicker in that order. And for Furia, K Serrato, Safi, Yuri, Art, and Drop. Though I'm probably not playing any of Drop at all. Core, it's time for our core value GPP and favorite stack segment. Favorite team stack, sorry. So let's get into this. Core play for me is Zyro. There's really nothing else to say here. He's the best play on the entire slate. I am going to go with Madden and Yuri as my two value plays. Yuri 5,000, Madden 4,800. Too cheap. GPP, it's going to be Brokey, Twists as well. You can add Rops to the mix as well. All right. Now it's time to get into our prize picks segment. While I load up prize picks, head over to prizepicks.com. Sign up using the promo code CLUTCH. Again, promo code CLUTCH. CLUTCH. Promo code CLUTCH gets new subscribers a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. It is an absolute amazing promotion everyone should take advantage of. If you're listening to this podcast early, I will tell you right now, Stown 40.5 kills versus Ecstatic. I would take the over on that. We have Zyru 43.5 versus Sprout. Dupree 38.5 versus Sprout. I'm going to stay away from those. I think those are right around probably where they score. You have Roy from the Copenhagen Flames taking on Skate at 40.5. That's really interesting to me. Another one I probably stay away from. Rops at 41.5. I will take the under. I think that's a high line. Can Rops do it? Absolutely. Do I think he gets there? No. Any other ones that stand out to me? If I had more confidence in James in this game, 37.5, I would take the over, but I'm not super confident in that as well. Let's take a look here. Anyone else that interests me? The map threes are below. So no, those are my prize picks for today. Again, I'm going to go Stown over 40.5. I'm going to go Rops under 41.5, and I'm going to go Jame over 37.5 as well. And let's see, anyone else? I can give you guys a bonus first pick. I'll go Roy under 40.5. Not confident in that one either. All right, for Baby Dan, I'm Adam. You can follow Big Dan on Twitter, Papa Dan on Twitter, at Wandelch, WANDLCH. You can follow me on Twitter, at AdamWX21. Good luck on this slate. Dan and I will catch you all tomorrow for another edition of the CSGO Clutch Podcast. For Dan, Baby Dan.
Everybody,
Oh, he's still here!
I came back.
He came back just to say goodbye. For Dan, Baby Dan, I'm Adam. Good luck on this slate. Latest, peoples.